Hey guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm gonna bring you my New Year's bookish resolution thingamabob. And before, like last week, I had planned to do this video, and I was just gonna kind of do, I don't want to say generic, but I kind of just had, you know, a basic thing I wanted to do. But then I watched one of my fellow booktubers videos, who we have very similar taste in books, I may add, Connor O'Brien's video, and his New Year's resolution video, and I've totally decided to copy it. So if you're wondering, Reagan, what is your New Year's resolution? Well, kids, I'm about to tell you. What I have decided to tackle this year is to start reading NPR's Top 100 Science Fiction and Fantasy picks. I looked through the list and I was kind of embarrassed to say that I've only read about 4 or 5 of the books out of the 100. The Codex Alera being one of them. Just saying, you should read it. So yeah, that is going to be my New Year's resolution challenge. Now you're probably like, okay Reagan, what's the book all about? Well, before I saw this list a couple days ago, my brother gave me a whole bunch of his favorite books, and looking at them I realized pretty much all of them are on that list. So I thought I would show them to you today so you can kind of get an idea of what I hope to be reading throughout 2014. Yes, so let's get started. First, I'm actually just going to go ahead and show you the couple of books I have that are on the list that I own personally and wasn't given to me by my brother. The first one is the Game of Thrones series. Yes, I own the first 2. I really need to read them. And now that they're on that list, I'm hoping that'll finally push me to do it. This is definitely like second highest priority out of all the books I have to read, and the next one is my first priority, so this, I really want to say in this video, is gonna happen. At least attempt. I'm going to try. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You heard it here first, people. The next books I already own that's on that list is the Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. And I've already kind of started on this because I've read the first one. So throughout this year, I want to finish the trilogy and read the last 2, The Well of Ascension and The Hero of Ages. So I'm gonna finish these. Actually, I really want to because it's really, really good. Now moving on to the books my brother gave me because he's super nice and stuff. First book I'm going to show you is definitely not on the list but deserves to be mentioned because it's awesome. And that is Calvin and Hobbes, The Revenge on the Babysitter. The Revenge of the Babysitter. I don't know. I loved these comics growing up, and we were searching through his boxes in the attic, and we found this and I got so excited and he gave it to me. I love Calvin and Hobbes. Love them. Love them. Alrighty, so the first books that he gave me is the entire Farseer trilogy. It's the Assassin's Apprentice, the Assassin's Quest, and the Royal Assassin. I don't know if that's the right order. And yes, you're about to see a whole bunch of really ugly fantasy covers. Why, people? Why? Why do we make them look so unbelievably hideous? I don't know. This is on the list and it seems like something I would really enjoy. In fact, I think I've been recommended this book a couple of times on my channel. It follows a young boy, at least in the first book, I only read the first book synopsis, that is trained by the king to become an assassin, and at one point he's like going into manhood and a whole bunch of stuff happens and he has to save the day, like typical fantasy. It seems like it'd be really, really fun and I'm excited to read it. The next book I was given is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. I definitely said that wrong. And this, apparently, is a science fiction masterpiece, according to Newsweek. Fun fact. And reading the back of this book, it sounds really good. It's about a man who goes to the planet Winter. It's like this desolate, cold landscape, and on this planet, the species there is both male and female, so there really isn't like a sex, and they can choose what they want to be to like mate. So it's like basically like our ideal of male and female that does not exist on this planet. So he goes there to kind of study it, and he kind of learns a lot about this, and in doing so he might even fall in love with someone. Apparently, according to the very last line of the synopsis. I don't know, again, my brother said this book was really, really good and it's on the top 100, so I'm gonna read it, hopefully. Don't know when. I want to, though. The next book I was given is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is really, really popular on BookTube, though I haven't heard anything about this book. And this book in particular is a book I personally have been wanting to read for like 6 years, so now I have it, which is awesome. And this follows a guy named Richard Mayhew who lives in London, and basically one day he stops to help a girl who's bleeding on the street in London, and then he like falls through the cracks, and now he's living in like the shadows of London. It says he must learn to survive in the city of shadows, darkness, monsters, saints, murderers, and angels if he's ever to return to the London that he knew. So it sounds kind of like dark and twisted and kind of dystopian but fantasy kind of thing. So it sounds really, really good, and I really want to read it. He also gave me another Neil Gaiman book, but I don't know where I put it. It's probably downstairs, hopefully. And that is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I think this is his most famous novel, and I just know it's kind of dystopian-ish. I'm failure, and I actually don't know what it's about, but I have it and I really want to read it, and it's also on the list of the top 100 books. So yes. The next book I have to show you guys is 3 prophetic science fiction novels by H.G. Wells, and this includes The Time Machine, A Story of Days to Come, and When the Sleeper Wakes. Yes, I am super duper duper excited to read this. My top priority though is The Time Machine, because that's the one that's on the list, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie, The Time Machine. Isn't there a movie? Am I making this up? Anyway, I really liked it, so it's also really, really sad. But I could also be wrong. So I'm really excited to read that one. The next 2 books I have to show you is the Belgrad Volume 1 and Volume 2. This book series has 5 volumes, so there is a lot going on in this book. But this is like a mystical high fantasy, high fantasy adventure story, and it follows a guy, like a farm boy, and because of fate and destiny, he has to go on this crazy adventure to retrieve this mystic orb thing. And I'm sure a lot more happens, but that's kind of like the overall premise. According to my brother, he says these are really, really fun and like really not easy necessarily, but just really easy to get into because they're just so fast-paced and just enjoyable reads. So yep, the very last book I have to show you guys that he gave me that is on the list is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And this is another book I've been meaning to read for a really long time. And this follows a unicorn. The last one, to be exact. And it follows the last unicorn story as it travels through a mystic land with some companion. It's basically about the unicorn learning about the joys and sorrows of life. I don't know, apparently it's supposed to be really beautiful. And I've also never read a book about a unicorn, so that will be a first. Alrighty guys, so there is my book haul and explanation of my New Year's resolution. Let me know down below any of your bookish New Year's resolutions, and as well I will link both Connor's channel, the list, and all that jazz down below, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!